What's good, Commanders fans? And a great win against a Raiders team. I'll just say a solid. They're a talented team. They're a talented team. And Marcus Mariota came out here and did what he was supposed to do, man. We started the day off right with the Debo Samuel return for what was like 50 yards or something. A beautiful return. Jaylin Lane with the awesome return. We have legit returns now. There's so many things. Luke McCaffrey scored a touchdown. Luke McCaffrey. Luke scored a touchdown today. That's how great of a day it was. And we really should have scored, like, being serious, we should have scored 60 points today. Like, we should have scored no less than 50. We ended up with how much? 45, 41. We, Jaylin Lane had a drop. I hate to start out with the bad, but it is what it is because I'm not going to say this was another homecoming game like the Giants game was where we just dominated them. I mean, we did dominate the Raiders. But I'll start off because since we're a better team now, unfortunately, I do have to start off with the bad guys. I do. I'm sorry. Of how since we have Super Bowl aspirations, we have NFC Championship aspirations, we have deep playoff run aspirations. The standard is higher, and the standard is the standard. So I am going to talk about, unfortunately, first some of the things that we should have did initially, where we could have got to 60 points. Jaylin Lane drops a touchdown. Matt Gay misses the 38-yard kick, which is terrible. I would still bring in a kicker. I think Dan Quinn is probably going to keep Matt Gay because Matt Gay made was it a 58-yard kick? He made a 56. He made a 56. He made all his extra points. So I think that saved him that he made that 56. Thank you to the Raiders coach, Pete Carroll, for calling that timeout before the half because Matt Gay missed the kick before the half. But they iced him and called a timeout. If they were smart, they would just let him go out there and miss it because he was going to miss it anyway. He really was. And then he got time to adjust. And then he made the kick because he adjusted. And the weather was nice. I mean, it was very cloudy outside. It was really odd. I thought it was going to be like a nice sunny day outside. But it was cloudy. But there was no wind or anything like that. There's no reason why he should have missed that kick, the 38-yard one. And then the 56 one is tough. I'll give him a little bit of slack for that for missing the first one. But he's not good. He's not good. There's other kickers that you can find that are better than him. I was watching the Maryland game. Maryland, the Terps are 4-0. The Maryland kicker is better than Matt Gay. He's better than Matt Gay at this point. He really is. There's some kickers in college that I think are better than Matt Gay at this point, possibly the XFL. But Jaylin Lane dropped, Marcus Mariota fumble. That we were going to score on that drive too, but he fumbled the ball. That was a nice run. Like Cliff, I got to give a game ball to Cliff. I'll do studs and duds in my next video like I always do. But Cliff from last week to this week, vast improvement. And he, excuse me, he didn't even give Bill the ball to start off. He gave C-Rod the ball, which I love. I love C-Rod. I don't really care who gets it at this point. I mean, of course, Bill should, like I said, Bill should get like 10 to 15 carries. Bill got 8 carries. C-Rod got 11. Jeremy McNichols got 4. Marcus Mariota carried the ball 6 times on some of the design runs. Now, what people are saying, like, this is the notion, too. I know I'm all over the place, but a lot of people were saying before this game that Marcus Mariota was going to do a better job than Jaden, which I did not agree with, but I did agree with some of it that Mariota was going to kind of calm things down and make a little bit better reads than what Jaden was doing. Yes, Jaden played against a way better defense than the Packers, so that's unfair to do that to Jaden. But there was like a silent majority, or people who were commenting on my channel saying this, like the veteran was going to come in, and I think the broadcast did that too. The broadcast wasn't great either. There was 2 penalties too, like the penalty where they targeted Debo, they hit Debo in the head. They said that wasn't a penalty. They were like, that's football. I'm like, bro, like Jeremy Rivers did the same play against the Patriots and got called for a penalty in preseason. Like, we're not doing that. That's a penalty. That's just what the NFL is. The NFL is soft now. So if the rule is a penalty, then call the penalty. Whether it's a soft call or not, a penalty is a penalty. That's just the rules because we never get those calls. When people target us and hit Jaden in the head, we never get those calls. But Debo finally got a call. Now, I do want to talk about Brandon Coleman being benched, too. I might even make a separate video about that, too. But that was crazy before the game, too. All right, let's get a quick word from Sleeper. Shout out to today's sponsor, and then we'll get back into the recap. Let's get a quick word from Sleeper. What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to give you guys a great deal with the promo code Oliver for Sleeper. Make sure you guys check out the Sleeper app. First-time users, you get 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first time using Sleeper. Sleeper is a great fantasy app for all sports, especially the NFL, for more or less on player projections. You pick the more or less on the projections like Terry McLaurin. Receptions, you can pick the more on that for 4.5 receptions on Sunday against the Giants. I'm taking more on that. And they also have great deals. Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, they have free squares more than half a passing yards, they're going to step on the field and get that. So make sure you guys check out Sleeper. Also on Sleeper, you have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football on Sleeper. Check it out. Terms and conditions apply. So the pick, like I said, I'm giving for you guys on Sleeper is Terry McLaurin more than 4.5 receptions, and then take the free square with Joe Burrow more of a half a passing yard, which is just insane. It's just a great deal that they're giving. Free money, a free play that they're giving on Sleeper. Great deal. Terms and conditions apply on Sleeper. Like I said, first time users, 100% deposit match up to $100. Click on the link down below in the description and use promo code Oliver. Let's get back to the video. Peace. All right, shout out to today's sponsor. Make sure you guys sign up for Sleeper. First time users, you get 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first time using Sleeper. Link is down below in the description. Use promo code Oliver to get that awesome deal when you start using Sleeper. But let's transition to the good. So Jaylin Lane is a dog, man. We got one in the draft. We have a returner. We have a legitimate punt returner. We have a legitimate kick returner. We have guys that can flip the field and take pressure off of the offense, take pressure off of our quarterbacks, which is great. We didn't do that against the Packers. We actually did have a couple of good returns. We just were not able to capitalize on those returns. But they threw a flag on the Jaylin Lane return. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're bringing this back, man. They're bringing this back. Like they're gonna call because we had how many penalties? We had a bunch of penalties. We got to clean up the penalties. We really do. Even in wins, like even in the Giants game, we had a couple penalties too. We really got to clean up on penalties. We had 7 penalties, which is not terrible, but we got to be a little bit more disciplined. There was plays where Josh Connolly and Laramie Tunsil had penalties on the same play, like a holding, face, hands to the face, and stuff like that from Laramie Tunsil. So those guys, they got to clean it up. Andrew Wiley had a hold, which I thought it was a hold. Max Crosby's a dog. Did he get a sack today? He got 1 sack. Okay, he only got 1 sack. Okay. I thought we did a good job with him for the most part. When you run the football, that's when you negate a pass rush. And that's what we were not able to do, or that we decided not to do against the Packers. Like when you run the ball and keep them on their heels. Jeremy McNichols. I should have started the video talking about Jeremy McNichols instead of talking about some of the bad stuff that we did. I get it. But Jeremy McNichols, man, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, looking like Marshawn Lynch out there, looking like Riggo, looking like Clint Portis out there, man. Just a man amongst boys. Get in the weight room. That's what he said. He said, get in the weight room. He showed off the guns. Bro, what, 6 tackles? That's how you run the football. That's how a grown man runs the football right there. 60-yard touchdown run. We needed that spark bad. We needed that bad because we kept shooting ourselves in the foot, and it just felt like we couldn't squeak away. Like it felt like we should be up by 30 points, but we were only up by 3 or tied at 10. And it was like we just couldn't squeak away. Now, the defense, Joey Jr., I'll give him his credit. I thought he did a good job on Geno. We got pressure. King Vaughn got a sack. Von Miller got a sack. He had to use the ventilator. Dan Quinn got hit in the face by Marcus Mariota and got blood on his nose, looking like Jaden Daniels out there against the Buccaneers. And then Mariota wiped off Dan Quinn's beard. That was hilarious. Players, they do need to back up. Players and coaches, they should be further back away from the field. I think that's a rule that needs to be implemented. They should not be that close to the field. I get it. They have to yell and say things and stuff like that. But just for their safety, they need to back up. They should be like 10 feet away from the field because there's too many times where coaches get torn ACLs, knee injuries, photographers too. I think they need to back up a little bit too. Everybody's just way too close to the field. It's just a safety hazard. And I get subs have to run into the games too and stuff like that. But, they need to be, backed up because it's just a safety issue. It really is. And it just reminded me of that, of course. But Dan Quinn's a dog. He got right back up. I don't think he was concussed. Maybe does he need to be evaluated for concussion? What's your middle name? When's your birthday? What else did they ask him? How many fingers am I holding up? Stuff like that. I think he would have answered all those questions fine, and he did a heck of a job today. Clock management was a little bit better today, too. They weren't in any really situations where they had to make tough clock management decisions. Now, the challenge, was it a catch or not? You could kind of tell they weren't going to overturn the challenge. I thought Trey Tucker got away with a drop today, and then he was wide open. Trey Tucker had like 3 touchdowns. He had a hat trick, which is crazy. We did a really good job on Brock Bowers. I know Brock Bowers is not 100% right now, but we did a darn good job on Brock Bowers, especially against tight ends. Tight ends, we struggled against tight ends. I thought we did a really, really good job. Terry McLaurin had a nice catch down the field for 56 yards, but of course he got caught right behind, and that's just been Terry's MO, man. Like, he had 13 touchdowns last year, but he probably would have had like 16, 17 touchdowns last year if he could finish some of those plays. And not all of it's all his fault. It was a great defensive effort by the defender. Shout out to Jeremy Chin for taking that L, former commander, and same thing with Caillou Blue Kelly. But I'm just happy that he caught it. He finally got a catch down the field, and this was his breakout game. This was supposed to be Jaden Daniels' get right game too after the loss to the Packers. This was supposed to be Jaden Daniels not coming out game, but kind of like his Bengals game a little bit from last year, where he just goes crazy and throws 2 touchdowns, really nice passes, has a couple nice runs. This was supposed to be the get right game for Jaden Daniels. Bill had a couple nice runs. He had a really nice juke and run where he juked somebody out of his shoes. Mariota had a couple nice runs. I thought, just like I said about Jaden, the way Mariota does the zone read, I think Jaden should learn from that. He has. Jaden does a good job with his zone read too, but Marcus Mariota, he does such a good job of disguising it and tucking it into the running back's stomach or in their chest or whatever, and then just the defense, they don't know what's coming. He did that against Dallas on the 4th and 1. It's really hard to tell. Even the camera doesn't know where the football's going. So I think Marcus Mariota, that's something that Jaden needs to work on, because he could have did that against the Packers against Lucas Van Ness. And honestly, I probably would sit Jaden next week too against the Falcons. I mean, we play against either Penix, who got blown out 30-0, or Kirk Cousins, who hasn't played a game in about a year and a half, and he didn't look that great the last time he played. So it's kind of do you want to rush Jaden back? But if Jaden's 100%, then go ahead and play him. I'm still happy that Luke McCaffrey got the touchdown catch. That was awesome. That was so awesome. Jaylin Lane, I'm so happy for him. He had -2 yards receiving, but the play of the day was from Jaylin Lane. He had -2 yards receiving, but it doesn't matter because of what he does. Bobby Wagner had 2 sacks, getting back to All-Pro Bobby. I thought Frankie looked a little bit better today. Deron Payne was good, stopping the run. Ashton Genty, we shut him down for the most part. He had a couple good runs. He had an 18-yard run, but for the most part, we shut him down. 17 carries for 63 yards. He was complaining about getting the football, and we did a good job bottling him up. That was a big key to victory today. Dorrance Armstrong with a sack. Javonte John-Baptiste with a sack. Preston Smith is going to come in and help us out too, so I'm excited for Preston Smith. Johnny Newton, I thought he played pretty well for the most part. Will Harris got injured. Marshawn Lattimore got injured. And Trey Amos got injured, so we'll see what's up with those guys. I didn't get to see whether they came back in the game or not. Excuse me, I don't think they did because it was a blowout. But I thought the guys played well. Did Ben Sinnott do anything? I don't think so. I thought he did a good job blocking out there today, though. I thought he did a good job. Josh Connolly was a little bit better today. I was going to say a lot better. He didn't give up many sacks, but the run game was a lot better today, too. Just the game plan was better. The game plan and execution was a lot better today. So I'm very happy with what I saw. We got back to being our usual selves with championship aspirations. The Eagles should have lost today. They definitely got very, very lucky with that block kick, but it is what it is. Zach Ertz had a couple nice catches too. The face mask that we got, where they got Mariota right before the end of the half, that just shows how bad the Raiders are. They're just a bad team too. They have good players, but they're just a bad team right now. They're not a good team. Matt Gay is awful. I'm just looking at my notes here before I wrap it up with you guys. Bill got a TD. That was nice. He got a touchdown. Trey Amos should have got that interception. Will Harris was right there, but Trey Amos should have got that pick, man. Gino wanted to throw one. He really did. He wanted to throw a touchdown. Chris Moore had a couple good catches too, man. I'm happy for Chris Moore, man. He's playing well. He's playing good football. And I shiggity on Chris Moore so much. He had hands like a snake, butter on his hands he could not catch. And he had a solid day today. He had a good special teams play where he knocked somebody's helmet off too. I like Chris Moore. He's playing good football. Shout out to Chris Moore. I think that's about. Debo had a really bad drop in the beginning of the game, but it's fine. They used him a lot in the run game. A lot of design runs, a lot of screen passes to Debo Samuel. I think that's about it, guys. That's about it. I mean, this was a good game. It's a game that we can learn from for sure, because we should have had 50-60, seriously. And it was a sellout. Looking at the crowd, there was a lot of people there for sure. And a lot of people left early too to beat the traffic, which I don't blame you guys at all. So, but all right, guys, as always, left hand up. We got the dub again. Back on the winning track, game by game. We got the Falcons next, which I think is a very, very, very winnable game against either Kirk or Michael Penix. I think they're going to bench Michael Penix. They might actually, they're going to play Michael Penix. They're not going to play Kirk, and then we play at LA the week after, and then versus the Bears. So we can get back on the track to what I thought we were going to start out as 6-1, 5-2, 6-2, something like that. So we're definitely get back on track, guys. So like I said, no more doom and gloom talk like you guys were crashing out after the loss. We're going to get right back on track. All right, you guys. As always, Hello Commanders. Peace.